Welcome to this video. Today I'm going to be doing a stock analysis of AP Maersk. So if you like this video, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And of course, remember, this isn't financial advice, it's purely for entertainment and educational purposes. Now, what is AP Maersk? Well, they are the second largest container ship company in the world. So they sail ships and they have a ton of them. And I like the company quite a lot. But firstly, I'm going to show you some technicals that are quite interesting about Maersk. And that is, they are quite a cyclical company. And by that, I mean, if you take a look at these graphs here, as you can see, sometimes we have these support levels and breakthrough points here. As you can see, we see right down here, we are increasing all the way up here. And then we go down slightly all the way here down to another support level right here. And then we go up and back down to the support level and increase back all the way up here to the breakthrough point. So you can see more often than not, and this has, if you can take this graph and make it the past 10 years, and it has been that quite some time. That's because it is a cyclical business doing container ships, well, sailing with containers, and for some reason, I think it is at this point just psychological. When people see the Maersk stock, they think, oh, well, now it's at support level, well, we should buy up. So it is very, very cyclical. And as you can see, sometimes we have other support levels here. As you can see, it hit this one here, and then it rose instead of that, this one down here, and 9,300 Danish crowns. It hit this one at 9,800. So as you can see, very cyclical. And then after that, we were up here, a bit above this breakthrough point actually, and we went down again. As you can see, just below this support level here, and then back up. And then we're back up here, and now, as you can see, we are going downwards. And it wouldn't surprise me if we made a line that looked basically like this. To be honest, it wouldn't surprise me either down here at 9,300 or up here at 9,800. So that it is quite interesting to see the company does that. So right now, I wouldn't buy into the stock. Now, do I like Maersk? I love the Maersk. Now, I am Danish, and it is one of the largest Danish companies. It is the second largest behind Novo Nordisk. Now, the reason I like them especially a lot right now is because their largest competitor, MSC, which is the biggest container ship company in the world, they have been out and buying a ton of ships, and we already have overcapacity in the shipbuilding branch. But after COVID, people are like, oh shit, we need more ships, so they have invested a lot in ships. Something that Maersk hasn't. They have invested in other stuff. They have bought some trucking companies in the United States, like Pilot Freight. They have bought planes, Boeing planes, so they have more air freight, and they have more logistics and terminals. So it is quite interesting. Now, if you don't know what a terminal is, this place where the ship sails in, which looks like this, you would maybe say that's a port. That is a terminal. There are terminal companies, and Maersk owns a ton of them themselves, and it is about 14% of their revenue, which come from the terminals, and they are just making a larger end-to-end business because they are also buying more trucking companies. They were even trying to buy DB Schenker, but that of course was DSV who ran with that. So it is quite interesting, and they just made a partnership with Hapag-Lloyd, making the Gemini Alliance, using their emissions and just making their entire container shipping, what can you say, methods in Europe a lot more flexible. Now, if you take a look at the earnings, as you can see here, they fluctuate quite a lot. As I said, it is a cyclical stock, as you can see here, but they more often than not, they beat them, which is quite great. And something I love about Maersk is their dividends. Now, if you look at more info, just look at these dividends. Now, these down here, you might think, oh, well, they're bad. Well, back here, pre-COVID levels, will the shipping companies barely made any money? And then during the COVID boom, they made great dividends, as you can see. And the one they paid out 4,300 Danish crowns. That is almost $1,000. That is like $800 per share. Now it is an expensive stock, as you can see right now. It is almost priced. This would be roughly, what would that be? $1,600, $1,700. So it is quite expensive. As you can see, then after pandemic, well, then they lowered them and then increased them in the year after when they made more money. So they are a huge dividend giant, Maersk, which is one of the reasons I really like them. Now, as you can see down here in the annual earnings, as you can see, it is a very cyclical business. During the COVID, when they could take more money for each container, they made a shit ton of money. The year after, they couldn't make as much, and they almost lost money. And then 24, they made even greater money. As you can see, the margins here, they fell and they increased, which is exactly the same we saw in the dividends. As you can see up here, let me find it right here. As you can see, as the margins fell in 24, over here, or 23, I mean, the dividends fell, then they increased, then they increased. So the dividends follow the margins quite nicely, and Maersk is very great at keeping the dividends in tow with what their margins are. Now, as you can see, as seasonals, it's not the best company ever. Let's just go back to 2010. As you can see, the past 15 years. As you see, yes, we see huge losses. Some years we see huge gains. But the reason you should buy Maersk is long-term the dividends. I think it is probably one of my favorite dividend companies in the world. But also, if you buy it at the right time, you can really make some great money. Especially just cyclical. I know a lot of traders personally that trade on Maersk when they think it is, oh, right now we are in a downturn, well then I'm gonna buy some and go up. But it is a very volatile stock, as you can see. If we just go back, as you can see, we have a lot of ups and downs. So you can see sometimes we're trading all the way up here, and 21,000 Danish crowns, that is $3,500, and sometimes you don't. Now, something I don't like about them is the fact that they only pay out dividends once a year, but because of how, what can I say, margin sensitive a company like Maersk would be, it's of course clear they have a reason that they only can pay them out once a year, because if they pay them out every single quarter, well, they might take $1,000 for a container in the first quarter, and then 900 for the second quarter, and then 3,000 for the third quarter. So it fluctuates quite a lot given the geopolitical situations, and as well as the Suez Canal. When that is closed, they make more money. When the Panama Canal is closed to dryness, or whatever you call it, they make more money. So the more instability there's in the world, the more money they make, because the more chance they have something going wrong, and then they make more and more money. So yeah, I personally want to buy them for the dividends, and if you want to be a bit of, how can I say, speculative, well, you can buy them on the ups and downs. Now the technicals in this stock, as you can see, for day is neutral, and for the month it's a buy. That is because we are still moving upwards here. Now, however, I would not say it's a buy, given the fact that we have seen a bit of a topping out, and we are trading a bit downwards now. As you can see in the 50-day moving average here, we are trading quite hard down. It is turning around, so we are currently trading below the 50-day and actually also the 200-day moving average, so it's not doing that great. And as well as in the RSI down here, we are trading below. As you can see in the RSI, we have an RSI of 39, which is means there's more downward momentum than upwards momentum. Now, if you don't know what the RSI is, that's a relative strength index, and that shows the momentum of a stock. So if it's below 70 and above 50, it's in the upward trading channel. As you can see here, it's increasing the stock price. If it's down here, well, then it's losing stock price, as you can see here. So if it's below 50 and 30, well, then it's going downwards. Now, if it's below 30 or above 70, up here it's oversold, overbought, and down here it's oversold. And be a bit wary when buying stock if you see company up here, because that means maybe you're buying in at a too expensive price, or down here, be careful if something bad happens to the company. Maybe they had poor earnings, and it might look, well, you think, oh, it's oversold, which means it's cheap right now and it's going to get more expensive. Well, be a bit careful, because it can, of course, be cheap now, but then be cheaper again later, because this is relative for the price that was before it, so it can continue to fall down. Now the analyst rating on this are quite all over the place. As you can see, it's not that great. We have 24 analysts on it. We have 3 strong buy, 1 buy, 10 hold, 2 sell, and 8 strong sell. And it does surprise me, because I think we are going to go down here at about 9,300. I think it is going to continue downwards. And I think a lot of people also know this. Just look at this. As you can see, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. So it is quite a cyclical stock. And currently, just given the tariffs, well, of course, if there are more tariffs, well, then people are going to buy less stuff from other countries to the United States, and then they're gonna make less money because they have fewer containers to ship. So of course that is not the greatest as well. Now, as you can see in the earnings, they rarely estimate to make any real money in the next year per share, and that is simply because, well, it is simply too uncertain to guess. So yeah, as you can see here, the shipping business is very, very volatile with their earnings. As you can see, you might think, well, it's quite poor when they estimate to make this one bad earnings. Well, it goes up and it goes down in the shipping business. Now, that was my video on AP Maersk. So if you like this video, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And of course, remember, if you want to see any other videos, please leave them in the comment section below.